Connors, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Dobby. Welcome you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinions video. And this one is about Darcy in Season 7. Basically, my hot take, if you will, is basically that Darcy's actions on Simpson should have been punishable. More punishable, if you will. Now, Season 7 started with an episode with two great subplots. One subplot was that Lakehurst was going to come into Degrassi because of their school catching on fire. So Degrassi has to share with Lakehurst, and of course there was animosity towards what happened to JT the season before. And the other subplot was Peter and Darcy and Manny going to a ski party, and basically Darcy getting roofied. And she thinks she has sex with Peter, but it's found out that someone raped her. So Darcy ends up feeling self-loathing because, she was brought up in this Christian lifestyle, and basically it's going to be that, what am I going to do now? So basically she's forced to leave the friendship club, the Christian organization at Degrassi, and give her her purity ring, even though she says that she should have been able to keep it because she had sex not by her consent and all that. But that's what happens. So basically Darcy is upset at herself. She doesn't know how to tell people about her being raped and all that because, she has a image to maintain, if you will. So she slits her wrist in the school shower, but thankfully she's saved. And basically Darcy's parents are like, why would she try to kill herself? Manny doesn't know. And then Darcy is so desperate, she decides to talk to Simpson about her problems. Basically, hopefully, that Simpson doesn't tell her parents. So basically, Darcy ends up finally having attraction to Simpson because, Snake's helping her out and all that. And her love and affection for Simpson is not really healthy. And also the fact that she keeps getting herself into trouble, and Darcy's mom basically calls her out on it. And Darcy's mom says, like, you're perfect all the time, too. So basically what you got is the fact that, Darcy's falling off the rails. And then Darcy gets confronted by her parents, and basically she says that Simpson made some inappropriate statements towards her, and basically, all that. Even though we all know that Darcy basically threatened to harm herself if Simpson wouldn't help her out. Darcy got scared. Simpson was investigated. He was suspended. And basically, Darcy realizes the little school hates her for what she said about Simpson and all that. And basically, she looks over the roof, says she's scum, and then wants to jump off of it. But thankfully, Manny pulls Darcy back before it's too late. Darcy ends up crying in Manny's arms. Basically says, what am I going to tell my parents about these things? And Manny says, if you don't tell them, I will. So basically, Darcy does. Darcy comes over the Simpson house and basically tells Simpson things. Emma is not too pleased to see Darcy, but Simpson says, I can talk to her. Darcy said she told her parents, she told the school everything about the fact that she was hiding her rape and all that. And basically, she was scared of telling them the truth because she had an image to maintain, not just in her mind, but in her family's mind. And basically, Simpson helps her calm down and all that. And of course, Darcy is upset because now they're going to put all their love and attention towards Claire, because Claire, her sister, is the good one, the one that won't test the parents' waters and all that. If only we would know how Claire got too much drama on her in later seasons. But what I'm thinking about is that, is that how come Simpson never got back to school as fast? Because, Darcy admitted everything. But it's mostly because the school board probably might have thought that Simpson had talked to Darcy and basically told her these things, even though Darcy told the truth. That Simpson probably might have played a part in it. Of course, Simpson basically comes back, but everyone is basically not too welcoming him. He falls into a deep depression. Emma helps him out with that in season 7, and basically everything is hunky dory again. Thank goodness for that. So logically, Darcy ends up going to Brad camp because her parents put him there. Peter decides to go with Darcy to Brad camp on his own accord, and basically helps Darcy get through her rape problems, and basically Darcy's a better person. And then by season 8, wham, she's off to Kenya, breaking Peter's heart. Of course, there's a double standard with this hot take. Is basically were Darcy's parents sending her off to Kenya to atone, quote unquote, for her misdeeds and all that? It's hard to say. I mean, I know in real life that excuse me, Sinead Grimes, the actress who played Darcy, actually was cast on the new reboot of 90210, and basically that show was famous for not having a lot of drama. And basically, some people said that that show was toxic because the 3 lead female actresses, including Sinead, were competing in weight loss competitions and all that, and that basically made the body image problems even more so. But of course, this was 2008, when body image wasn't basically all sizes. It basically was thin is in still, that philosophy. So yeah, I know Sinead Grimes got the actress job, but they could have given Darcy a better send-off in a sense. I know Darcy said she wanted to go to Kenya to atone for her mistakes the previous season, like when she did in season 8. But part of me thinks that it was not Darcy's choice, it was her parents' choice, basically by trying to make her atone for things, and basically their own Christian egos and all that, their images and all that. It kind of reminds me of Shane's parents in Degrassi Junior High season 2. Basically, they send him they want to send him to a boarding school so that, Spike wouldn't have to see him again, and basically put the baby of adoption. Boom, everything is solved. But Shane is oppressed. Shane basically calls his parents out by saying that basically with them being embarrassed about Shane impregnating a girl, they needed to get rid of Shane so that they can get on with their own lives. And basically he says, let me prove that I can handle the baby. And he does okay, but then he goes to a party. He goes to a concert. He takes a hit of acid and basically falls off a bridge, either by accident or on purpose. But I think he was probably by accident because, why would you be on acid and then try to jump off a bridge? So basically, Shane thankfully doesn't die. He gets brain damage so much that he has to spend time in a home for the brain damage and all that. And basically, Shane's parents put him in the facility because they got rid of Shane and they can go on with their lives. It makes me feel that with this Darcy situation, because of Darcy acting out in season 7 and being all that, and basically that, Darcy's a troublemaker, but they can focus all their attention to Claire, make her the perfect Christian specimen, if you will. They just ship Darcy off, and so basically nobody has to deal with Darcy's wild behavior again. But of course, as we all know, that it would take a few seasons before that facade cracked, as Mr. and Mrs. Edwards basically separate. Claire basically doesn't put a lot of faith into her actions after season 10. I think realizing that God had forsaken her by divorcing her parents, even though the parents would say, it's not your fault, Claire. But what also gets me is that basically Mrs. Edwards doesn't really help Claire out a lot of times. And basically, I think Claire may have been with the wrong parent. Maybe it was her that was the problem, as in her mom. Basically, her mom dates her boyfriend's dad, which means, and gets married, which means that Claire and Jake cannot really have a relationship because they're step-siblings, and that would be incest in the worst way possible. So yeah, so that was hard to stomach, but poor Claire deserved better. Poor Darcy deserved better. Darcy was going on a redemption arc, and then all of a sudden, whammo, she's in Kenya. I guess part of the redemption arc was being in Kenya, but still, you never know what could happen. And, Darcy felt bad for Simpson, and basically Simpson in season 14, he's actually allowed to come see the graduation of Claire's class and basically talks to Claire about things because, Simpson helped Darcy with her problems, so he helps Claire with her problems. And everything is hunky dory. So, anyway, thanks for watching this episode and have yourself a good